Mind if I join your little party?
Look, I see Jinx looking at me right now. I gotta be quick with this shit. She's in a very, very cranky mood, and I am too. I agree with her. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you, Jinx. Just it's my fans, okay? It's my fans. Don't get mad at me. It's my fans. We're gonna hold on. Shit. Gotta fix y'all face. There we go. We're gonna talk about Arcane. I'm late with this review because y'all didn't tell me. I told this was their fault. They didn't tell me about this, okay? They didn't tell me that I had a hidden gem. Arcane League of Legends is a steampunk animated series that's been created by Christian Linky and Alex Yee. Y'all created a monster. Y'all, shit. In a conflict between the wealthy city of Pitlover and the oppressed undercity of Zayon, driven by the tragic story of two sisters, Vi and Jinx, with everything on edge of balance, these two sisters face themselves not only by fate, but by an uncomfortable and horrible future that would tear them apart mentally and physically.
Never going to change that.
I'm trying to tell them what's going on. Stop! Why no one told me about Arcane? Why no one told me about Arcane, okay? No one told me, out of all the animes, no one told me how good this anime was. No one told me that I had a hidden gem. No one told me I had a masterpiece. No one told me that I had something that was going to possess my mind from start to finish. This series, these 2 seasons, this anime was crazy. It's crazy. I haven't felt this mind blown watching an anime since Attack on Titan. I'm talking about modern anime. I'm talking about animes from now, not animes from back then. I don't think that counts because there was nothing but just hidden gems, masterpieces back then in the 80s and the 90s. It's rare to find this now. It's rare to find a good anime that sticks out of your mindset, that is not a pitch freaking like carbon paste anime that we've known and fucking loved. Everybody talks about Jujutsu Kaisen. I know like 5 animes that's like fucking Jujutsu Kaisen. Everybody's talking about Solo Leveling. That's like 4 animes that's like fucking Solo Leveling. Everybody's talking about these animes that I've seen and I instantly just left alone because I've been there and done that. I know I'm pissing off a lot of fans right now that loves those animes. I'm not saying those animes are bad, but all I'm saying is those animes can be good. Those animes could blow you off the rails. But are they creative? Is that your first time watching stuff like this? And if it is, all right, cool. But I'm probably picking y'all head because there are animes that has already done that already. Arcane. There's nothing about this anime other than the lapse of the environment. Rich versus poor, right? That's it. How we get there, the characters, how the characters change, how they have a conclusion of how they meet their old characters, how they meet their friends, and just the good guys and bad guys, everything plays out. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, you watch this anime is literally like, this shit is gonna grab you. She is gonna fucking grab you and will not let go. Arcane. And that's a lot to take. That's a lot to take. When I reviewed animes, I compare it to other animes that I know and love. I can't compare this to anything. Like I said, Attack on Titan is a good modern anime that I love because it's fresh. But when it comes to the choreography that I mentioned, it's uncomparable. The story picks up at a very fair pace for you to understand the choreography of these characters, how they're going to get driven to their path, and above all, how everything is going to fall flat until the conclusion of how they are going to face their choices upper hand. Now, critics, reviewers, was basically morally just talking about the action, saying that the action is what make the anime. The action is what... No. I don't know if it's because they played the Arcane game, but the action is secondary. You're going to be more pulled in by the story and how these characters unfold with this story, how the pacing of these characters gets unfolded in this story. And the story literally starts off with the two characters that I mentioned in the headline, Vi and Jinx. And they're literally in the counterbalance between the rich and the poor, trying to upper hand themselves onto the rich by doing smuggling events and just trying to survive with the gain that they have. And how they do this is very admirable. I thought that the pacing with these two characters was heartwarming. It was strong. And at above all, you begin to understand these characters, especially when it comes to these two mains. Like Vi, she's literally the leader of this gang. And there are other characters that I don't want to mention. It's going to be hard for me to spoil it, for me to not spoil it. But I'm going to say it briefly as I can, make this review as fast as I can. Vi, she's literally like the main character of this whole pact group that's literally living into the surface. And she is trying to, she is trying to have her gang do these missions and trying to prove to the rich that they matter. That all that shit that y'all doing upstairs has nothing on us at all. We're struggling, we're dying every day. There are people that's literally killing each other with no choice but to survive. And her crew is strong. Her crew is witty, but she is literally the strongest person. She has a mind of steel. She sees it and she wants to obtain it. But let's just be honest, she literally lacks wisdom, which is what leads to other characters that try to lead her to common sense, try to do things more professionally and more profound. And we learn that as the whole entire anime continues. And by that happening, we have a certain character that's on this group, which is her sister, that is called Powder. And Powder's character, she is the youngest. She is the character that, by her being the youngest, she is the more, she wants to try more. She wants to play harder. She wants to act harder. She wants to make sure that everybody looks at her and takes her seriously, just like they take her seriously, her sister seriously. Especially when she gets scolded by her sister so she can do better. And no pun intended, but she's a jinx. Every time she does a mission with these characters and they're doing good, she makes things bad. Every time that something bad happens to the mission, she makes things worse. And by that happening, she tries to learn from her mistakes by making her gadgets work, making her bombs work, making her resources more reliable. And I began to feel bad for her because it's like, this young girl shouldn't be going through all this shit. Somebody help her, man. And when the story continues, you begin to feel more impactful for these characters, especially when the shit hits the fan with these characters. When things go bad with the crew, when things go bad with the whole choreography with these two characters, it hit me off guard a lot. Vi and Powder's personal loss is going to hit you hard. It is going to hit you hard, especially when it comes to the aftermath of the changing of these characters. It was so bad to the point where Vi just literally gave up on her whole foundation because of her personal loss. Now she's a criminal. Now she's in prison. And then as for Powder, I think she had the worst of it. I think she had the worst of it. And the worst thing about it is you understand her choice. You understand the foundation of the narrative of the route that she took, and I didn't feel bad for it at all. I was like, if it was anybody, they would have done the exact same thing, and if not, then you would still understand Powder's objective. These are one of these stories that really hits the narrative of just the counterbalance between right and wrong, good and evil, light and dark. And when it comes to a story that's based on the rich and poor, and hitting very close to the counterbalance of just doing minimal, you're not going to have any good guys here. Either you're going to have characters that's trying to do good because of what they've witnessed and they end up becoming corrupted, or you're going to have bad guys that is trying to reason with other people so they won't be too corrupted, so they can have the counterbalance between right and wrong. It's people like this and other characters that you will come across this project that you will understand more than just seeing their motivations being followed and play into this whole project. Like Silco. People hated Silco. I love Silco. Silco was a character that didn't do much. He just lifts fingers and talks. And every time he talks, people listen. When he lifts fingers, niggas die. Niggas fall apart. Niggas crumble, or above all, they join him. Silco was a character that you begin to know that this character was not good, but as the story continues, you understood his motivations. You understood his drive, and at that point, you understood why he went to that dark side in the first place, which hints nobody is good. I think Silco was one of my favorite mains of this anime, if it wasn't for Victor. Victor is a scientist. He's a scientist that lives, above. And by him being a scientist that lives among the rich, that lives among the high living and stuff, he struggles by trying to be aware of science activity, trying to overcome certain things when it comes to him discovering new inventions and stuff like that, and it ended up costing him dearly. The people that he lost, the things that he sacrificed, I don't think it was worth him being in the state that he's in now, but it just shows you that no matter what coin you flip into this project, you are going to see people struggle. You're going to see people suffer. You're going to see people lose other people. And that's the power of this whole project, is you not just witnessing the shit, but you understanding the choices that they make. I think Victor made me cry a lot. It was Victor and it was Powder. Those two made me, it hit me. It hit me right here, man. And I'm trying not to tear up right now. But if you have like a strong heart of choreography with anime or just with projects like this in general, when the story is very well done, crafted right, you are not going to you are not going to disrespect it. You're going to appreciate it more than everything else. Notice I didn't talk about the action yet. Notice I didn't say anything about the action, how good the fight scenes are, because again, the action is secondary. In fact, the action is literally the aftermath of how you feel with these characters. When V, and I keep saying V, I'm thinking about V from fucking Cyberpunk. When Vi begins to conflict herself towards these enemies, especially when she begins to go above and tries to reason herself towards certain people, when she has like these brawling fight scenes, even when it comes to Powder and everybody else, when they begin to fight other enemies and when they begin to fight each other, when you know about these characters, you feel about these characters. And when I see these fights happen, man, I don't know who to root for. I'm like, man, like I don't know. Like whoever wins, whoever dies, I guess. I don't want no one to die, but they're gonna be casualties. I think a motherfucker died at least like once every 2 episodes, or twice every 3. But there's death. There's a lot of death, especially when it comes to characters that you are going to grow attached to. Protect your heart of all times. Okay? Because I even mentioned characters that I loved on here, a couple of them, but I didn't tell y'all about the characters that really fucked with me a lot that end up dying. I don't want to mention them because, again, they play a major part in the project, and some of them was even mains. I really talk about the music in projects like this, but the music has to be mentioned. I love the soundtrack of Arcane. I download the soundtrack from iTunes. It's very tacked on. It like, especially when they have like fight scenes or dramatic scenes, sorrow scenes, like scenes where you really have to like settle down or whatever, and they just build up the tone by just having good music. They have Woodkid on this album. They have Imagine Dragons, especially when it comes to the introduction. I can't get it out of my head. How does the introduction go, Powder? It was like everybody wants to be my enemy. Wrapping this anime up, a lot of people was debatingly saying that they want this series to continue. I feel like at this point, I don't mind it. I feel like the way how it ended is the way how I'm fine with it. It's like, I feel like the more you continue this series, the more we may like it, but the more you're pulling a risk for it to not be this enjoyable. I think 2 seasons of Arcane is enough. I think just let it go. I think Arcane, it's been out for a good while. People are talking about it. People are recommending it. People are saying things about it, but none of my fans didn't say shit to me about this anime. But let it sink in. And then another thing too, people was debatingly saying that should you play the game by watching the anime? I don't think so. I think the anime has explained enough for you to understand these characters. So if you want to play the game, I think you might understand the depth more of these characters. But if you understand how they got to the points where they've gotten and how they really feel, and above all the conclusion of how they feel towards each other, then I suggest you watch the anime. Or if you just want to watch a damn good, gripping anime to begin with. This anime is worth watch. I'm thinking about watching it again. Actually, yeah, it's that good. It's that good. I am not making this up. I'm gonna have to give Arcane League of Legends an A+. Stop. Y'all seen that coming. Y'all seen that coming a mile away. Y'all like, my rolls shaking and shit. But no, seriously, good anime. Very good anime. Highly recommended. It was so good to the point where even though they got it on Netflix, I could watch it for free, but I bought the steelbooks, man. It's worth buying, bro. But other than that, that's all I have to say for today. Please stay tuned to my upcoming reviews and videos. Ooh. Hit it your way. This is Hugo, your critic teacher. I hope you all have a good day.